Welcome, everybody. For those of you that came out today to see the public hanging, I'm sorry to disappoint you, there will be no hanging today. But this is such a serious event that we're live streaming it on the Tsawwassen Rotary Club Facebook page. Hi, Facebook. I've lived in Tsawwassen for 33 years, and I've never experienced such an inexplicable, deplorable crime wave, spawned by several prominent people who live on our quiet, safe bedroom community. The multiple horrific crimes are so serious that the police require each of them to spend up to 1 hour in jail. There are so many offenders, police are hauling in small groups in 1 hour intervals this morning at Rotary Square, so the public sees for themselves just how bad things have got so fast. While in the pen and before, they hopefully can each reach their goal of $1,000 bail money set by the criminal courts in order for them to regain their freedom, and provided that they vow never to be so offensive again. Since it is obviously unlikely anyone would pay any bail for any of these wide-eyed, crazed ruffians without some incentive, the police and CRA have made a special deal. Anybody mustering up some sympathy to pay some bail gets an income tax receipt. It seems the crime wave started a couple of weeks ago when then prominent Delta Optimus manager Dave Hamilton was arrested leaving work, accused of a lack of useful community service under the Karma Criminal Code offense section AAA. Mr. Hamilton pleaded his innocence but did not resist arrest. The arrest went viral among the shocked Delta community immediately, notably in the Delta Optimist, tarnishing badly his otherwise clean living career. The video of his arrest shows a certain evil glint in his eye, like a man possessed by evil, devilish forces deep within his clearly troubled psyche. And as we shall see, the evil spirits have possessed his soul, are a contagion in this otherwise law-abiding, civilized Tsawwassen community. Our first prisoner is Vicky Sangster. I remember her when she was a good woman. In happier times, Vicky was the inspiration and the drive behind the Tsawwassen Rotary to help fund and build a water park at Diefenbaker Park. She has been an inspiring Rotarian and community leader for many years. Under the guise of kids having too much fun there, she has been seen recently turning on the taps herself, flooding the entire area for hours on end. She was filmed many times last summer and recently, as last night, causing severe water damage to the concrete structures that Rotary built there. Ms. Sangster has been charged today with intentional flooding and damage to public property under the Karma Criminal Code section BBB.
Boo!
Guilty! Ms. Sangster.
Guilty.
How is it that your goodwill in helping set up this famed, delightful Rotary water park has now turned you inside out into a careless, lawless flooder and concrete eroder?
No comment.
No comment. We want a lawyer.
Ms. Sangster clearly is remorseless and needs the shame of jail time to try to come to her senses. Is this where, Bridget, you do your TECRA? That's what it says here.
Sure.
Okay. Can we let her out for 2 minutes if we watch her?
Yes.
Okay.
Only with good behavior, though.
Bridget wants to share a little bit on her favorite project in which Rotary has helped finance over the years. Bridget.
Thank you. So today I need to get out of jail so I can continue the good work at the TECRA Foundation. We are a Canadian registered charity that works in Uganda and partners with a community there to provide capacity building and empowerment to a community of over 10,000 people. We were also recently selected as one of 8 delegates across Canada to consult with the Canadian Foreign Affairs Ministry on their government international development policies, particularly when it comes to gender. So there is a primary care health facility. We do neonatal and maternity care. There's a cooperative farm. A primary school, a vocational school, and a women's economic empowerment group. And we've recently partnered with Microsoft to build a solar forest to fund some of our entrepreneurial activities at Tekra to make us 100% sustainable. We also have a 35 Ugandan staff, and we're 100% Ugandan staffed.
Thank you, Bridget. Now get back in there.
Dog's trying to break out.
So Bridget was once so kind as to store our large Rotary float for the Rotary Sun Parade in her dad's warehouse in Tilbury, and until recently has been a helpful supporter of the Tsawwassen Rotary Club. But 2 nights ago, in a random act of violence and community insensitivity, Bridget was filmed right here, pouring bubble bath in this otherwise pleasant, idyllic Rotary pond, and then publicly bathing, singing at the top of her lungs, and collecting all the coins in the pond in a plastic bag, no doubt for personal use.
Bridget!
Not guilty!
These senseless, inexplicable actions required repair efforts all day yesterday by more than 80 Rotarians. The National Guard was on standby, but the Rotarians heroically got the nasty cleanup job done just in time for the event. Needless to say, this unthinkable, cold-blooded action created a massive sudsy nightmare, charged under the Karma Criminal Code Section CCC, and a disturbance of the peace against Karma Criminal Code Section DDD, and theft of an estimate of over $500 in small change, otherwise destined for pious, wholesome Rotary community activities against Karma Criminal Code, you guessed it, Section EEE.
It's all fake news. Fake news.
Bridget, what possessed you to wreak such senseless havoc in this quiet suburban oasis? Do you believe it is a contagion from satanic and other evil spirits that have suddenly invaded this near-perfect community?
I do not. No comment further.
That is hardly a satisfactory explanation that compels your release without serious jail time to clear your conscience of your horrific, clearly premeditated wrongdoings. Prisoner number 3, my ex-friend, Keith Dinwoodie.
Boo!
This reckless hoodlum is none other than the president of the Rotary Club of Tsawwassen. Before today, considered by adoring club members and his fans worldwide as a paragon of propriety and of pleasant disposition.
Guilty!
But since yesterday,
Guilty!
it is known that his crimes date back to the onset of his presidency, where he developed an ever-accelerating tendency to inflict countless burdensome demands on the club's docile, law-abiding membership.
How could he do that to
Your
us?
wimps. Throw the shackles on him!
Get the ball and chain on!
It is now known that the club members who complained to local police for months about his relentless phone calls and monologues that can only be described as criminal harassment against Karma Criminal Code Section FFF. But the greater crime is abusing his power as president to engage in these now routine rants and diatribes into a language no one understands.
Guilty!
Except far-flung Brits completely alien in our community against Karma Criminal Code Section GGG.
Away with the man!
Yesterday, the crimes reached the epitome of this heinous public expression when he was seen and heard using his well-honed computer skills to hack into all the Rotary Club members' social media sites with voice clips of repetitious and raging demands, requiring slavish actions by members to support this very event today. Mr. Dinwoodie, how could a man, lost my spot, how could a man of your stellar community stature allow yourself to rant and rave like a lunatic among your docile, kind-hearted members using cyber-invasive Orwellian techniques, and all in a language no one understands?
It's all part of my plan to be the first president of the Rotary Club that gets impeached. And it worked! Yay!
Well, folks, I did not understand a word of that. He's clearly out of sorts, possibly a victim of a nefarious contagion that is infesting this community. But clearly that is no excuse. The man must be punished with every tincture of leniency. And now we're going to let him out for 5 minutes while he tells us a little bit about the Rotary Club of Tsawwassen.
That's all right. I can do that. Thank you very much. Rotary works by the motto of service above self. And the Rotary Club of Tsawwassen and all the members of this Rotary Club live their lives by that motto. We like to provide service to our community, both locally and internationally. You've heard from my fellow jailbird here about the TECRA organization and what they do, and Rotary has been one of the supporters of that organization for many years. We do things locally. You've heard about the water park in Diefenbaker Park. Even Rotary Square here was part of our fundraising activities. So we use our money to do good in the communities, both locally and internationally. And thank you very much for your support. If you didn't understand that, do that.
Thanks, ex-friend. Get back in there. So how much time have they got left? Who's on the clock here?
Have bail money.
In you go.
Hang on, half a second.
Smile for that.
3 more hours. 3 more hours. Thank
I think because of good behavior, maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
15 minutes.
15 minutes or $500?
Good behavior. Are you kidding me?
I have